If your circle isn't stretching you, it's shrinking you. Let's talk about why better friends aren't a luxury, they're a necessity. Social capital is like financial capital. It only becomes valuable when it is in motion. So if your relationships aren't building you, they're billing you, emotionally, spiritually, or energetically. Jullien Gordon's Rich and Righteous reminded me of something very powerful. Capital flows to those who are aligned with their assignment. You can't keep entertaining distractions and expect divine connections to find you. You've got to become the person your purpose requires. The wrong crowd will convince you your dreams are too big, while the right one will hold you accountable to them. God isn't just trying to bless you with money, He's trying to upgrade your entire ecosystem. You can't pray for wealth and keep pouring into people who profit off your wounds. You're not meant to stay stuck in relational poverty. So start asking yourself, who calls me higher? Who challenges my old self without shaming it? Who reminds me I am chosen, not just talented? This is your sign to stop being loyal to familiarity and start being loyal to your future. Your social circle is spiritual energy. Your alignment is your assignment. And it's time to surround yourself with people who make purpose feel like overflow. If you want to change your life, start by changing who you're doing life with, because whether you realize it or not, you are your environment, and your friend group is your environment. People talk about money capital, hustle capital, even content capital, but none of that matters if your social capital is dry or stagnant. And here's the thing no one wants to tell you. Capital doesn't become currency until it is in motion. So if you've got good ideas, big dreams, or a new version of you waiting to emerge, you need people around you who see it, support it, and spark it into motion. It's time to upgrade your social capital because your network is your net worth. If you want to level up your life, your mindset, or your business, the first place to start is who you surround yourself with. Friends aren't just people to hang with. They're your support system, your inspiration, and sometimes your biggest growth accelerators.
I have multiple felonies, did 5 years in prison, and I'm about to start a PhD program. And in a video I made about that, I talked about how I used to lack social capital. This is not something people talk about very often. You'll see rich, successful people, and they always want to say, oh, everything I have, I earned. I got into Harvard. I went to Yale for grad school. And they are totally neglecting the fact that they had immense access to social capital. This is your networks. This is knowing the unwritten rules of society, how to write a college application, how to access scholarships, get an internship because the CEO is your dad's best friend. These are the things for people who grew up poor or working class. We just don't know, and we can't know. It's not that we're ignorant, it's that there was no one there to teach us. So how do we access social capital if we weren't born into it? And that is a huge question. For me, it took me making friends with people who either were born into that, who came before me and clawed and climbed their way up, sort of pulling me up. So this is mentorship relationships. That's why there's a lot of programs in higher education to sort of pair disadvantaged students with mentors who can give them that advice, who can introduce them, make those connections for them, make sure they get that internship, that letter of recommendation. I used social media for some of this. I made a lot of friends through Twitter, connecting with people on an intellectual level, and then through the friendship I developed with them, getting to access their social capital. And now I have reached a stage in my life where I have my own social capital. So now I can pay it forward and introduce my friends to the people I know so that we can go after grants and get research positions. American society is not a meritocracy. You cannot just pick yourself up by your bootstraps and end up socially mobile and in the upper class. There is so much unwritten. You can't just read this stuff in a book. If you have never ate at a 5-star restaurant for a business dinner, you're going to be overwhelmed just by the social etiquette. I remember being plopped in these places and just feeling like a brute or an alien because I don't know how to eat, and I'm used to eating cheeseburgers and french fries with my hands, and realizing that I just didn't have the essentially class norms to fit in. And that is why even when we claw ourselves into these spaces, we sometimes struggle to succeed because these other people around us who are now our peers have lived in these cultures forever. That's what we don't talk about with class, is that class is correlated with culture, and we have certain markers where people peg us as being lower class or working class, and then we need to try to figure out how to assimilate. Otherwise, we are not going to be able to reach those spaces, because people will keep us down because they realize we are not one of them.
In this video, I'm breaking down why social capital only becomes real currency when you take action, and how you can start building better friendships that actually move your life forward. If you're ready to leave the toxic cycles behind and attract people who raise your energy, this video is for you. Social capital is the value of your relationships, the people you know, the trust you've built, and the spaces where you're respected, supported, and inspired. It's not just about networking, it is about nourishment, like who checks on you, who celebrates you, who challenges you lovingly to be better. If the answer is nobody, then no matter how smart, talented, or driven you are, you're probably still going to stay stuck, because you can't go far if you're dragging dead weight around with you. And you can't get free if everyone around you is committed to staying the same. Your circle might be holding you back, let's be real. Some of the people closest to you benefit from you staying small, because your elevation will highlight their stagnation. And if you ever felt guilty for outgrowing your environment, trust me, I know that feeling. That's social capital being stifled, because sometimes it's not hate, it's familiarity. You're used to the jokes, the group chats, that's just how they are energy. But ask yourself, when was the last time this friendship poured into me and not drained me? If your circle doesn't inspire you to evolve, it is not a circle, it is a cage.
They might think that you're weird today, but tomorrow they're gonna think that you're so interesting. I deleted my Instagram 2 years ago. I don't go to clubs, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I know a lot about aged rums though. I'm an art collector, I'm a member of a fine arts club, I'm on the junior board for an art museum. I can golf, I take figure skating lessons, I do oil pastels and paint to unwind from my day. I just learned how to fish, and I'm hoping to be a better shot by the springtime. I am an interesting person, and people delight in me. People are so fascinated by me as a result of that. Take a step back from your friend group. Take a step back from the herd of what everybody does on the weekends, and figure out what you like to do. Figure out what your true interests are and find hobbies that align with them. If you work in engineering but you're interested in fashion, join a fashion club. Become a member of a club that gets to talk about fashion every single Wednesday. There, you might even find an opportunity that intersects perfectly with what you love and what you do. I know we all hate winter, but find an activity that keeps you outside, that keeps you active this winter. Learn how to skate, learn how to do something new.
So here's how to attract better friendships. You don't need 50 new friends. You need alignment. And alignment starts with you. Be the kind of friend you're looking for. Say respectful, accountable, growth-minded, kind, and connected to truth. Then go where those people gather. It might not be your usual spots, and it might feel awkward at first, but guess what? You're not looking for clones. You're looking for catalysts. When you start walking like the person you're becoming, the people who match your frequency will find you. So put your social capital in motion. Relationships grow when you invest in them. So for those of you that hate to text or call first, trust me, I feel you. But here's what will help you. Reach out intentionally, collaborate with people you respect, show up for others the way you want them to show up for you. You can't just wait for your dream community to fall into your lap. You have to build it, brick by brick, conversation by conversation, and even room by room. You have to absolutely need to stop hiding, stop shrinking, and stop playing safe with the same safe people who don't get you in the first place.
If you are looking to break into an elevated social circle, here are some things you need to know. I wish someone told me this. And also, to clarify, when I say social circles, it can be the senior executives at your job. It can be upper echelon of society, whatever makes sense for where you are. Number one, discretion is the currency of a lot of these elevated and successful social circles. These people have a lot to lose. And if you're out here blabbing your mouth, telling their business, telling your business, telling your friend's business, it's a problem. You will be ostracized. Number two, successful people are always hosting dinner called knowledge exchanges with information brokers. These are people that are also very successful and or interesting. And this is where all of the deals are made. These are where people learn and upskill. Number three, your affiliations matter. Affiliation can be anything. It can be where you went to undergrad. It can be your fraternity, your sorority, the Aspen Institute organization, and some of them are a little bit more nuanced and secret. All of these affiliations are where they meet each other and also how they sort of legitimize themselves. Your name is your brand in a lot of these places. You will never hear a successful person only introduce themselves by their first name unless their name is Beyonce. And some of my mentors will also sort of negotiate how they introduce themselves. So let's say they're talking to someone that they met before they were married. They'll introduce themselves with their first name and maiden name. When it's married, and particularly if they married well, they're going to use their first, maiden, and last name. There's always multiple names.
I'm so thankful that I get text messages and even DMs from people that I know, and they know what I like and they act accordingly. So they send me whether it's networking opportunities or self-care tips. And you know what? If someone sends me something I don't like, respectfully, I leave them on red. You can indicate to people you're not interested in something they have to offer sometimes. You deserve friends who see your light and never try to dim it. You deserve a circle that speaks your name in rooms you're not in because they believe in your vision that deeply. And if you haven't found that yet, that is okay. Distance yourself from the familiar and don't settle because the next level of your life requires the next level of your people. So my advice to you is to start today. Start today by auditing your circle. Ask yourself, do the people around me feel like sunlight or shade? Then make the changes your future self will thank you for, because social capital is real. And when you put it into motion, your whole life just starts moving too. And if you're ready to actually build your social capital in a real way and not just talking about it, join us inside Royale Business Academy. This isn't just a school group, it is a community. It is a forum of sharp, purpose-driven people who are serious about becoming the highest version of themselves. Inside, we've got a level system designed to reward meaningful engagement. So every time you comment, reply, or like someone else's post, you're not just ranking up, you're showing up in a way that builds trust and visibility, because relationships are the real ROI. So if you want to grow, glow, and get into rooms that stretch your spirit and your strategy, Royale Business Academy is where you need to be, all right? So link is in the description for you, because in this season, your net worth will reflect your network. All right, that's all I have for you guys. Bye-bye.